maybe you're struggling with eating healthy. You keep setting the goal, you set it again, and you're unable to follow through. Here is a guide that will help you. This is Blissful Living with Itoro E-Bright, and we believe everyone can lead a happy, healthy, and fulfilled life. So we talk about 5 F's: faith, family, food, fitness, and fun. Today, I'll be talking about crushing your healthy eating goals. So what do you need to do if you want to crush your healthy eating goals? The first thing to do is to define your objective. Why do you want to change your eating habits? Are you doing that because you have decided on your own to stay healthy? Or you are doing this because from the series of wellness check you've done, it has been discovered that you want to watch either your cholesterol level, sugar level, and then lower your blood pressure, whatever it is. Or you just want to live happy and healthy for a long time. Let your why be in front of you so that you constantly remind yourself of the reason why you want to do this. The next thing you want to do is to perform what I call a food audit. What are your frequently consumed meals? Your FCM, very important. What are your frequently consumed meals? What are the things you take often? Make a list of it. I mean, there are some things you take every day. Water is one of it. I mean, we all take water every day, right? And there are some other things you take every day. What is something you take constantly for breakfast? What do you take at night when you're tired and you don't feel like cooking? What do you take during the day when you're at work and you're hungry and there's no meal close by? Those are the things you should make a list of. Let's look at everything you take in during the day, like week in, week out. Have a stock, have a record of all of this. Then you can focus on your frequently consumed and then see the ones I consume frequently. How healthy are they to me? If they are not so healthy, what can I replace them with? You look at that, so you perform a food audit, so you actually even know where you are to start with before you begin to think of taking steps to correcting what you want to do. Another thing you want to do is to identify your food triggers. That's number 3. Identify your food triggers. What are the factors that shape your food choices? So why maybe on a sunny day while you're at work with a lot of work pressure, you usually would take a chilled bottle of carbonated drink. So you want to check what's the trigger when I am tired and thirsty. I take carbonated drink. So what do I do to ensure that I don't get thirsty? What do I do to ensure that I don't get so famished that I begin to thirst or begin to desire taking this particular drink? So look at what are your triggers? What are the things that trigger you to taking that particular thing? Pay attention to it and then begin to ask yourself, what can I do to avoid those triggers? Your goals are specific, they are measurable, they are achievable, they are relevant, and they are time bound. So specific. What are the specific things you want to do away with as you talk about healthy eating that you're not going to eat again? Then what are the things that you want to, what is the quantity you're allowed to take per time of food? And then talking about achievable, talking about your goal being achievable. How achievable is this? I mean, you can't move from someone who would take 4 bottles of carbonated drink in a day to somebody who would take none in 1 month. You may want to start to reduce it from 4 to 1 a day, and then to 1 in 3 days, and then to 1 a week. It may be a bit difficult to just take that drastic step to stop it completely. So you can give yourself time to transition into this new way of life. Don't be so much in a hurry. It is actually more important to achieve it than to try to achieve it following the fastest method and you never really do it. So have a meal plan. Yes, have a meal plan. Let your meals be prearranged. Sometimes when you have not prearranged your meal, you stumble upon anything and you just make do with it. But when you have prearranged your meal, when you have a meal plan, this is what it does for you. You would actually, before that week, source for, I mean, this is what you should do ordinarily. Source for the things you need for that particular meal you want to make. Make sure all of these things are available at home. And then as much as possible, each time you need to eat that particular meal, make sure you have what you need to prepare it. That way it will be easier to stick with your meal plan. So create a meal plan. And in this meal plan, create varieties. You know, people will say something like, maybe, let me say, oats and then fruits for breakfast. But that's too limited because what about the day you don't have oats? You can put 2, 3 things as options and then for lunch, the same thing. So if you don't have A, you have B. If you don't have B, you have C, right? Yeah. So have a meal plan and then make a workable budget around this. Make sure that you have a workable budget around your meal plan and then plan your meals ahead. So by Sunday, already have a plan. What will Monday look like? Tuesday look like? Wednesday? And then for the entire week. And then develop an action plan. Identify your obstacles and strategies that will help you follow your meal plan. What are your obstacles? You come back late at night, so you're unable to follow your meal plan. Is it possible that you prep these ingredients and freeze them? So when you come back, it makes it easier for you to prepare your meal. Is it possible that you prepare the meals and go with it to work? So you're not tempted to eat whatever junk's available outside. So have an action plan. What will you do to make it possible for you to follow your meal plan? And this is another secret we really talk about. Don't stock what you don't need. Don't stock what you don't need. Stock only what you need. If you're trying to stay away from something, one way to help you stay away from it is not to stock it. Don't have it at home. You're making it more difficult for yourself. In fact, you're putting yourself through the temptation of trying to resist it. But if you don't have it at home, sometimes out of sight is out of mind. So make sure you don't have that thing you're trying to stay away from at home. So that whenever you need to eat that particular thing, you have to make an extra effort to go look for it and then eat it. That way, to reduce the number of times you're eating it. So only the groceries required for the meals on your timetable should be available in your home. And then number 8 is be accountable. Share your goals with a friend or a relative who can support you through this journey. Many of these things you can't do alone. Have an accountability partner who can work with you on this, who can follow you up and find out how well you're doing. And then celebrate your milestones. I mean, you are going to stay away from something and then you have done it. I mean, track your progress, celebrate your milestones, and then adjust to your plan as needed. So if you realize that, wow, I have stayed away from this thing for 1 month, celebrate yourself. You may not have done 1 year, but I mean, 1 month is a good place to start celebrating from. So do not belittle your effort. Appreciate it and then be very, very intentional. Always have at the back of your mind the consequences of eating those things you shouldn't be eating. I mean, that thing helps me a lot. Since I add the knowledge of what goes into the meals we make, there are some things you can't catch me eating. And there are some places you can't catch me eating. Since I got to see the way people prepare meals, I mean, many people who are into food business, when I got to see organizations, the process with which they produce the things they produce, it was easy for me to resist the temptation of eating out many times because I have to look again and be sure that that process is thorough before I begin to eat, which is one of the reasons why we keep emphasizing on the need to follow a thorough process as we do our work. So sometimes have at the back of your mind the consequences of taking that thing. So what helps me is I just remind myself, if you take this thing, this is what you're taking. This is the quantity of this is the amount of calories you're taking in. This is the amount of fat you're taking in. This is the amount of acidity you're taking in. By the time I consider all of this cholesterol you're taking in, nobody tells me. I just stay away from it. So what am I saying? Be intentional, be accountable, and then read the products that you're buying. Don't buy an expired product. Read it. I read the nutritional value of what you are buying. Go as natural as possible. One of the goals is to go as natural as possible. Do all within your power to go as natural as possible. If nature can provide it, get the one from nature rather than the one that have been, the one that have been processed. Get the one from nature instead. So please, it's very important to take care of your body because that's where you live in, right? Till I come your way next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and then drop your comments. That way you're encouraging us to put out more content. Please remember to lead a very happy, healthy, and fulfilled life. Bye.